And we will also do suctioning. Let me get I need to get one of those pink bulb things, those saline dosettes. So let me get those. Oh, I see one lone dosette. That'll work though, and then I'll get some more for you guys to practice with them. Okay. What are you whispering about, Anne-Marie?
There were these puppies that we saw, and they're only $1,000, and they're usually like $3,000.
Oh,
It's what kind of puppy?
It's a golden doodle.
oh, that's
Your
so
brother?
brother.
I love them. Anyways, sorry.
What kind of dog you want? Huh? What kind of dog you want?
I love puppies.
Okay.
Did you massive mix? Did you?
Everybody else should be cool in here but me. All right.
Don't stress. It's just us.
Oh, I'm not stressing. This is just my this is my
When we're in your position, we're sweating too. So
Yeah,
it's okay.
honest. I'm like dripping sweat when I'm doing.
No, this is all menopause related. Yeah, I normally this kind
Where
of
are your
stuff.
fans at?
I got one right
Yeah, bro.
there. No, this is all menopause related. I don't get nervous about stuff like that.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I've only done this
But
4,000
start
times. Okay, so we're gonna talk to Mr. Fizio and tell him that we're gonna do trach here and then we're gonna suction him. And so the first thing I wanna do is assess. I want to hyper-oxygenate him if we're gonna suction first. Or, you know, we don't have to hyper-oxygenate with trach here, but we do if we're gonna suction, okay? So let's go ahead and do suctioning first and then we'll do trach here, okay? So he's come in, he's got sputum here. He's on the ventilator, so there's a button on the ventilator that says 100% oxygen. And if I push it, it'll go to 100% FiO2 for 3 minutes. Then it'll go back to its original ventilator settings. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. In the meantime, I'm gonna listen to lung sounds just to see how we're doing. Unless he's in some kind of respiratory distress, then I would move forward with the suctioning before I listen. I wanna have an O2 sat monitor on him because I know when I start to suction him, he is going to, decrease in his O2 sats, okay? So now I'm gonna set him up a little bit more because you always cough better when you're sitting up. And if I need to, I will put the bed up higher for me. I don't wanna put it up too high so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so he's up higher, he's ready to go. I'm going to make sure my suction is working by turning it on. You remember, it's locked. And then when we turn it, it's now working, okay? So my suction is on, and I'm going to tell him that we're gonna go down his ET tube, and I want him to cough, okay? So we've got 10 to 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now apply suction, 8, 9, whoops. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, when I'm pulling back, I want an intermittent suction and twist, okay? Remember, when you're suctioning, this is where those holes and this hole is where the suction's gonna be. So as I'm going down, now, I don't wanna put suction on as I'm going down because I don't want those holes to suck on any tissue in the throat, okay? So now we're gonna, intermittent for the same reason. We don't wanna suck up against the side. We want it to suck on sputum. So intermittent and twist as we pull out, okay? So now we can go down a second time. Let him have some oxygen for a minute. Check his O2 sat and his heart rate. Okay, so now we're gonna go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we are out. And we're going to let him catch his breath, get as much oxygen as he needs. Okay, now I want to clear out the tube. So I'm going to take my saline dosette, I'm going to take the top off, and I'm going to put it here. And then I know I don't want to lavage him. In other words, I don't want the fluid to go all down into his lungs. This is probably full of some bacteria after a while, and I don't want to push that down into his lungs. So I'm going to put the tube down a little bit so the holes will catch the fluid and pull it back. So now I'm going to squeeze and squeeze at the same time, okay? And then I'm going to pull this the rest of the way back, and the fluid should come back through here and into the suction canister, okay? So now I'm going to take this off. I'm going to use the same suction tubing, and I'm going to suction his mouth, and I'm going to do oral care. Okay, so we can't just kind of run it along the side. We're going to have to go back into the back, okay? And that's where we're going to find good juicy sputum. All right? So then we're going to come up, and then we're going to use the chlorhexidine toothpaste, and we're going to clean the mouth out. With that, we might use the suction at the same time, we might use a mouthwash, okay? But we've gotta do that, mouth care minimum of every 2 hours, because we're trying to decrease the possibility of that. Remember, ventilator-associated pneumonia, okay? All right, so that is suctioning. Let me make sure that our professor in here has what he needs. I'll be right back for trach care. I just noticed him milling around, and I don't want him to be without what he needs. Professor Bollinger?
Bro, all I know is for the test tomorrow, if there's an answer of level of consciousness, I'm just clicking on it.
Nice.
I mean, just make sure you definitely know increase intracranial pressure, because that can be a symptom from tumors and cerebral edema and head injury.
Now, Bubba says, what's the priority assessment? If everybody's not on there, motherfucker gets level of consciousness.
Yeah.
Every time.
Respiratory staff. ABC?
Yeah, ABC is
Yep.
no level of consciousness. It's like obese fundus.
So like, you know, like all of my friends that just graduated, like took the NCLEX, they were like, everything is about priority. Like, it's all about priority. I was like, so.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yay.
You're right.
Dude, I had one of my coworkers finish it in like 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
wow.
ridiculous.
Because they only did 65 questions.
Still, 65 questions in 30 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Be Addie.
I
Oh,
mean,
you're
Addie,
like-
Yeah,
Addie, like,
exactly.
I know, she'll just-
she stresses me out sometimes.
know.
I'm like, how are you done?
And being in the chapel too, like nobody's gonna be quiet with their chairs, and it's
we
gonna
get
be
both
really
that.
distracting.
Y'all remember orientation? They were like,
taught
okay,
us how
do
to
the
stand up."
quiet chairs, and then we all stood up.
And it's like, bam, bam.
We were like,
Bam.
we
What's
even
it
had a
like?
whole little session to practice. That was great.
Gosh.
It's gonna be a long
It's
video.
not gonna be good. It's gonna take me a long time.
I
to
really
get
wish
through
we
the
could
test.
just go like anywhere else. Like I would take the test outside. Yeah.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow.
In the rain, I would do
I
it.
don't care. Also,
I'd
do
let my
Do it
iPad
in
die.
the rain, do it on the train.
All right, I doubt these probably have.
Well, we're 7 minutes in and we've covered one competency.
Are you still going?
Yes.
It takes a lot of space.
Oh, I hope they enjoy this conversation.
Right, I know. Hey, we got our whole menopause talk on here too. Yeah.
Gotta love it.
The first minute and a half.
Cornell, how
pretty
do you
much
feel about
stuff.
this test on Monday?
I haven't gotten there yet.
What
I'm not
haven't you
worried
got
about
to?
it. Huh?
What did
In
you-
our,
For
in our,
CTI.
yeah, we have a test on Monday.
Do you, is it Armstrong?
Yeah.
Okay,
Fast,
Addie,
fast.
Addie and Haley were going on about
Did you watch the
the
movie?
test, but it doesn't sound like anything that you
Pretty
haven't
good,
done
actually.
for
I feel like I've seen
nursing
it
tests
before.
or for like
It shows
answer
about
and
good.
stuff.